Hey everybody, this is Bob from my garage location in Porter, Texas. Just wanted to give you about a 10-minute video tour of my HO scale model train layout. Currently housed in the garage of my house. This was actually about a 4.5-year project to build the layout, most of which was done at a former location. And so when we decided to move, I basically cut it up into 5 different sections and relocated it to our current location. And after about a 1.5 years of getting all the tracks back together and working properly and rewiring all the lights, got it back in operating condition. So I wanted to give you a quick tour. This first section is the first section that I built. It's the Woodland Scenic Grand Valley kit, which comes complete with all the plaster and the styrofoam substructure, all the landscaping materials, the materials to build the asphalt roads, basically everything with the exception of the track and the buildings that you see. Those were purchased separately, again from Woodland Scenics, the city and industry building set, which I'll show you in more detail in just a minute. But this first section, the hill behind the city scene, is made up of a couple of buildings. Built me a little stock tank up here on the side of the hill with the dam. Got a kid fishing on a wooden pier over there, and then got a father and son team over here sitting on the dam fishing. Moving up here, you see Woody's custom cabinets building. And there's Woody out there on the side of the building doing some touch-up painting on his building. He lives right next door in Gretel's cottage, complete with a dog on the front porch, picnic table out front, stack of wood for in the winter, and a grill back there in the back. And if you see, look closely back up here on the hillside behind the house, you'll see there's a group of deer up here grazing. You come back down into the city scene. Again, these are the buildings that came in a kit. They basically come unassembled and unpainted, so you glue them together, and then I custom painted all the buildings, put all the decals on. And this is made up of the general store, an apartment building, the U.S. Post Office building, the bank and trust building and assay office, another apartment building, and on the corner over here we got the pharmacy. A little city circle or an asphalt circle here for parking and driving up to the various buildings. We got our old folks sitting on the benches down here at the edge of the city, watching the trains go by. Panning out a little bit, come down here next to the railroad tracks. We got the depot station with luggage stacked out on the dock, ready to be loaded. In the middle here, we got our billboard sign. We got a construction crew over here working on some kind of project. And back in the industrial section, we got Rhodes Wholesale Tire building with a bunch of old scrap tires laid out. Back towards the back, we got the machine shop and metal fabricating building. We got the Duke's building back here. The dock with a lot of 55-gallon drums of some kind of material stacked on the dock. Over here on the other side, next to the Railway Express Agency building, got stacks of lumber ready to be loaded onto a boxcar. See track junk laying around. Moving over here and to the side of Granny's Cafe at the Grand Hotel over here on the corner. We got a few more people over here sitting on benches under the shade of the tree. And we got the fruit stand with the old men sitting out selling their fruits and vegetables. And we got the local police car with somebody pulled over. So as you move around the back and look back up to the side of the hill, you can see a stream coming out of the mountain back up there on the hill. Makes its way down through the little valley and then out underneath this bridge. So that is the Woodland Scenics Grand Valley kit. The next section I did was a scene from Gunnison National Forest in Colorado. It's where I spent many a summer camping and fishing and hiking. So I tried to recreate what I remembered from my youth. So we've got the little stream coming down through with a few beaver ponds. Got the mountain scene in the back with streams coming out of various places in the mountains. Some waterfalls coming off of the rock ledges. Also built this custom wooden bridge to cross the stream. Coming up here, we see a couple of fishermen fishing for trout in the beaver ponds. Here's another fisherman here. And over here we got a hiker just out exploring. Back here in the back we got 3 different campsites. We got the budget campers here with their little pup tent, little campfire, and a backpack back there on the log. We got the rich folks that drug their Airstream travel trailer up to the campsite. And we got one more campsite over here with a couple of tents and wood fire and some log benches laid out. Both the road and the stream then flow out underneath a custom bridge that I built, a rock bridge that makes the transition around the corner. So after the Colorado scene, then I get into the rail yard section where you can see I've got a bunch of extra spare rolling stock, several tracks to store additional cars and switches to switch between the tracks. Got my locomotive back here ready to take off with its load of cars. This all transitions back into this corner section, which is just a little mountain scene. It's got a couple of wood bridges I built to go across the railroad tracks for the gravel road that feeds into the farm section, which is around this corner. Around here you got the old wood water tank for the steam engines. You got the gasoline station, the Sunoco truck, railroad crossing. And then this dirt road feeds into the Double B Ranch, which is my farm scene that I created. I decided to build me an entry gate with the Double B brand up above the Double B Ranch sign. The entire farm scene is actually bordered by this 3-strand barbed wire fence. Actually not barbed wire, it's actually toothpicks and gray thread. Hopefully you can see the detail down there on the fence section. I got my Hereford cows. I painted those. They're grazing on the square bales. Got my windmill with the water troughs. Here's my farmhouse. The picket fence that I built around the yard. It's got a picnic table. And a red barn back here in the back. And then I got some Angus cows and calves and some red cows and calves. Miscellaneous horses standing around all feeding on the square bales. Of course, no ranch or farm would be complete without a stock tank with some old dead trees laying in it. And also needs to have a hay field. So there's my John Deere tractor planter with the round bales ready to be put up for the winter. And then over here next to the railroad tracks, I got my corral, my stables, where I've got a bunch of pigs that are waiting to be loaded up the ramp onto a rail car. The track has, there's tracks both going underneath the mountain and on top of the mountain. And also built these custom wood bridges to cross the tracks. There's one on that side, and then there's also another custom wood bridge built over here on this side. And that is the basic layout. I'll walk over here and turn on the display lights as well as turn off some of the overhead lights so that you can see what it looks like in the evenings when it's lit up. So here is the farmhouse with the lights on and the light pole next to it. Back over to the Grand Valley section. You can see Woody's house is lit up with a street light as well. Here's the city scene with the buildings lit up and the street lights going. Of course, the post office has no lights because it's never open after dark anyway, so it didn't need lights. And street lights next to the train depot. Street lights back here in the city section. Granny's Cafe is lit up. Grand Hotel is lit up. And the cop car that had the car pulled over has got his blinking red light ready to issue a ticket. So anyway, that is my HO scale model train layout. I really had a lot of fun building it, constructing it, and I hope you've enjoyed watching this short video of the model train layout that I created. Thanks. See ya.